Hey, welcome back to another edition of Babyface Brew Review. My name is Alex. I will be guiding you guys and gals for the next couple minutes here through this brand new beer by Deschutes Brewery out of Bend, Oregon, and also now Richmond, Virginia. You can get their stuff there. They're distributing over on the East Coast. So that should be exciting for Deschutes fans to make some very quality beer. With this beer here today, like I said, it is brand new. It's called Swivelhead Red IPA. Clocks in 6.5% alcohol by volume, 70 IBUs. Really not that much out there in the regards to ratings and reviews from other folks. From what I have, from what I don't have, nothing on Beer Advocate, nor Rate Beer, no composite rating on either. Untappd from the 550 or so reviews there. It clocks in at 3.6 caps. Which is pretty solid. I put that in like the B range or whatnot. So not bad. I think from what I've heard, it's not going to have something that's going to blow like your socks off, but like at the same time, just a real solid beer that Deschutes has put out that's close to sessionable, even though it's 6.5%. So regardless of the fact, they're using a bunch of different hops in here. We've got Nugget, Delta, US, Tettnang, Crystal, Northern Brewer, Triskel, and Summer. So that's 7 different kinds of hops. For malt, we've got Pale, Cara Red, and Black Barley. Seasonal release available from March through September. They don't use a enjoy by date, but they have a best by date, which is 8/02/17. So really fresh here. Usually for their IPAs is 120-day shelf life. Okay. All that aside, let's crack this cap and see what we got going on here in this Swivelhead Red IPA from Deschutes. Deschutes makes some really nice beers, in my opinion. Their Fresh Squeeze is one of the better ones out there in terms of just everyday availability. Mirror Pond Pale Ale is a classic as well. Their Obsidian Stout is really good. They just make some really nice beers. If you're not, not too familiar with their stuff, which I think is more of like central U.S., Midwest, maybe a little harder to get, but you should be pretty familiar. They're a top 10 brewer in terms of their craft brewer and in terms of their production. But anyway, really aggressive pour on my behalf. 2.5, 3 fingers worth of head. Very tightly compact bubbles. Super khaki color here. Really nice looking beer, honestly. Beautiful auburn clarity to this one. Pretty solid carbonation streaming up from the bottom as well. Yeah, really nice hazy. Yeah, it's clear to hazy, but it's really nice looking. If I swirl it around, it was a really aggressive pour. Yeah, we get some sticky glass lacing on there. I can smell it too. It smells nice. It definitely has a Deschutes like signature proprietary yeast strain in here. Very malt forward. Yeah, that Deschutes like signature yeast is in here without a doubt. Yeah, very malt forward. I'm getting like some earthy hops, some piney hops as well. Almost like this like red apple characteristic. Some bready sweetness. But really not much other than that. Like if you smelled Mirror Pond, you smelled their Armory XPA, it really smells very similar, in my opinion. Maybe a touch more malt forward. Yeah, caramel notes. Really nice stuff. Okay, cheers, whatever the hell you want to call it. Prost. Let's dive into the Swivelhead Red IPA by Deschutes Brewery, Bend, Oregon, Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, up front, 70 IBUs definitely hanging out, like this kind of like fruity bitterness to it. Middle of the mouth, you get more of that caramel, bready note. I'm almost picking up some sort of like, I know there's black barley in here. I'm picking up like this, there's that red apple characteristic as well. And there's like this, almost like this licorice type thing. I mean, it's coming across to me as licorice. Yeah, it's really interesting. Finishes like with this earthy, very herbally bitterness. It's almost like bittersweet, like the malt and the bitterness kind of in like this battle. It finishes really interesting. 6.5% alcohol is not there at all. Yeah, it's really really interesting. Head retention, awesome as always on Deschutes. Glass lacing is super solid. Getting into the mouthfeel, it's kind of like a lighter medium body. Moderate carbonation is nice. No alcohol, like I said. Really smooth, kind of fluffy, if that makes sense. It's just... It is a red IPA, but it just seems like the taste is kind of muted, and it doesn't really know what it wants to be, if that makes sense. Like, you get this IPA up front, the bitterness, and you get some of those like herbally fruity hops. You get this apple thing going on in the middle of the mouth. It's a malt show, and then on the back end, it's obviously bitter again. But it's kind of like tugging back and forth, and for me, it's kind of confusing. And I understand like you've got two styles, like a red ale and an IPA, mashed together. But I think it really kind of leans in the middle of both of those. Like they've accomplished what they wanted to do, but it just is weird to me. As for like a review, I like Deschutes beer. It's a pretty solid value. I think this is like $10.99, which is a little expensive for 6.5% beer. But regardless, it's not terrible at all. It's just weird. I don't personally. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible, which is difficult. I mean, being a reviewer here, whatnot, I don't really like it, to be honest with you. I give it like an 85. It's a solid beer, don't get me wrong. It's like a really well comprised, really well made beer. To me, the taste just is kind of funky. It can't make up its mind, and it's really, it's too, I can't think of the word. It's like abstract or whatnot. It's just going back and forth. It's kind of in a battle. It's torn. So 85 from me, but I'm really curious to hear what you guys and ladies think out there about this beer, the Swivelhead Red IPA by Deschutes. 85 for me. Let me know if you loved it. Please, let's go back and forth on the comments, on the dialogue there. I'd really appreciate each and every one of you, like always. Really curious to hear your thoughts. So, with all that said, cheers, prost, whatever the hell you want to call it. Appreciate each and every one of you stopping by, like always. We will see you all next time on Babyface Brew Review.